possible traffic, more traffic in the area.
So yeah, they actually did a traffic study as well, which their final plat and site plan have the traffic study as well as the drainage study that's going to be heard at Planning Commission on December 9th.
So I'm assuming this follows the same process as subdivision, where it goes through
Yes,
rezoning approval, and then it goes through plat design, back to planning commission, and then council final approval.
correct.
Any other questions or comments on this agenda item? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve ordinance number 1526.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Julie?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Next ordinance is ordinance 1527. This is an ordinance to vacate property on the southwest corner of Baldwin City. Russ, do you want to explain this?
The applicant actually lives to the north side of this. This was actually a street cut that was platted 35 years ago. If they were going to develop property to the west, nothing has ever transpired on that. There's one landowner that is to the west that does not have any plans as of right now to sell that. So the two property owners from the north and the south that this passes through petitioned to have the street vacated. They've been taking care of it for over 30 years. So they're just trying to, make it official. Planning Commission, heard this back on November 18th. There was nobody from any citizens that had any concerns or issues with the vacation of this.
Any public comment to this agenda item?
Not having a map, I'm not sure where it's at, but I'm just curious, were there any utility easement dedication to, I just know in the past when we vacated streets and alleys and then had to go back and acquire land back to run sewers and the likes.
So there is a utility easement that is on the west side. If you look at the map that's on the screen currently, there is sewer and electric in that all the way to the west. There's like a 10-foot utility easement. That part is not getting vacated.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other public comment to this agenda item? If not, we'll close public comment for this agenda item, open up council discussion. Any comments or questions from council? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve ordinance 1527.
I second it.
Been moved and seconded. Julie?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Next is ordinance 1528. This is the ordinance that outlines, it will help with the transition from myself to the new mayor, as well as the new council member coming on to the board. And we didn't have this before. This just puts it in writing on how this council has chosen to do the appointments for the 3 different boards that are appointed by the council. So that's what this ordinance does. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak to this agenda item? Yeah, I can give an overview. Essentially, this outlines when we appoint to the library board, the recreation board, and the blackjack board, that a body of made up of the mayor, the city administrator, the city clerk, and a council member, and from the library board and the recreation board, depending on which one's being appointed, one member from that board and or their director is on the interview committee. that then makes the recommendation to the full council. So, yep.
Good evening, Council Mayor. So I do have a question on this. Is that better? I do have a question on this. Before, I see that the city clerk will accept applications.
Mhm.
Where in the past, the Recreation Commission advertised, accepted applications, and then our board kind of vetted and then sent, the top 2 or 3 to that committee. Will that change in this process?
Well, that was something so it's kind of been either some boards we get 2 or 3 applicants, some boards we get 7, 8 applicants.
Right.
So I intentionally left that out so that the next administration could decide how they wanted to pare it down for the interview committee.
Okay.
This was just concentrating on the process prior to bringing it to the council.
Prior to. Okay. Sounds good.
Anybody else have any comments to this agenda item? Not, we'll close public comment for this agenda item, open up council discussion.
I think it just formalizes, I think, how we've been operating for the past several years.
Yeah.
Seems to have been
I think
working
it's good
well.
to have- Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that that this process seems to work really well, and I think having it written in stone would be great.
It's basically what I was going to say also, so.
And I was on the last one for the library board, and I thought it went really smoothly. So
I will entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve ordinance number 1528.
Second,
Been moved and seconded. Julie?
yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Corey?
Aye.
Susan?
Yes.
Jay?
yes.
Motion passes 5-0. Next is the community center agreement. So as the citizens and the council will see, there are numerous agreements on here. We're trying to get them lined up so they're easier to manage in the future. And so we have for the community members that don't know, the rec department as well as the golf course association manages public property. So this essentially is their request for extending those agreements.
And can I recuse myself from this one?
Yeah. So Matt, if you want to just give a brief synopsis of your agreement proposal.
Sure. For the community center proposal, nothing's really changed since the original agreement. Everything's pretty much the same as we approved last year. The only difference would be the length of the agreement. It's for 5. And then it's like Casey was saying, we're doing 5 years to kind of align all the agreements together. So we're not coming, next year for Sullivan or in the following year for the pool. So they'll all kind of hit at one time. But yeah, nothing has changed in this one than what we agreed to last year.
All right. Any
that-
questions for Matt?
How's it working for you, agreement-wise, for the?
Agreement-wise, fine. We just stay in communication with whoever at the city if we need some assistance. And I know the warranty of the building expired in November, so we had some conversations with Casey and Russ about, okay, who do I reach out to, if this happens or so. But in doing so, Russ is the point of contact. So fortunately, nothing's happened, but, throughout the last year, we reached out to Lloyd to address any sort of issues we may have had. But, knock on wood, everything's been good so far.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
You bet.
Anybody else from the public like to speak to this agenda item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment for this agenda item, open up council discussion.
I think if it's working for the city and for the community center and the rec, I think it's a good deal.
Agreed.
All right, well, I will entertain a motion.
I move we approve the management and operation agreement for the community center.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes 4-0. Next, you might as well stay out there. Is the
Grab a chair.
next is the Sullivan Square agreement. Matt, is this pretty much same, just lining up, everything? Okay.
Yep, exactly the same as last year. We took over a little more of the maintenance last year in terms of the mowing, seeding, fertilizing, things like that. But other than that, everything remains the same, just the length of the agreement.
Any questions for Matt on this agreement? All right, thank you, Matt. Anybody from the public like to speak to this agenda item? All right, well, nobody wants to speak to this agenda item. All right, we'll close public comment for this agenda item. Open up council discussion. Any council discussion on this agenda item? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the Sullivan Square management and operation agreement.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next is the pool agreement. Matt, ditto.
Yes, it's more or less the same. There is one change or one addition here. It's a 5-year deal. I think once we get down to 2028, the Rec Commission's asking for $5,000 more per year because the reason being for wages. Wages the last 2 years have increased significantly, and we've absorbed those costs in terms of wages. So I'm asking for a little more help here 2 more years down the road to kind of assist with wages. So go from 48 to 53. It doesn't completely cover everything, but it helps just a little bit. So I'm anticipating wages will continue to increase as we staff the pool.
Any questions for Matt?
Obviously, that would help in keeping the rates down, right? So
Correct.
how much, just percentage wise, do the rates cover for your operating costs? I mean, half of it?
No, not quite. Just under half. Yeah. And so, like, I'll give you an example. Wages 2 years ago, we spent about $86,000 in wages. This year, we were at 110. So, yeah, but that's pools everywhere. Wages for guards and managers have gone through the roof. You bet.
Any other questions for Matt? All right, thank you, Matt.
Bet.
Anybody from the public like to speak to this agenda item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment, open up council discussion. There isn't any. I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the operation agreement for the Baldwin City Pool.
Second.
Been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
See. All opposed, say no. Nay. Motion passes. Jay, you can come back. Next is the golf course agreement. This one is a little different. They are requesting a longer term or long-term projects that they are wanting to invest in. It also continues on in the last agreement. If the council recalls, I think we had this discussion briefly, and I was reminded of it, that the Golf Course Association pays $4,000 a year. That was intended to pay off the clubhouse. After that point, when their golf course lease was renewed, that $4,000 was to be held in escrow for a large capital project that they may need in the future. Some improvements that they intend to do is add more golf cart sheds. Either people keep running into them. No, I'm just kidding.
It happens.
There's more people that want to go play out there than they have spots for their golf carts, as well as they're adding tee boxes. They want to add tee boxes and then do some regrading in the future to help with runoff. So that's why they are requesting. Did I hit on everything, Paul? Paul, you can step up.
I'd rather hear from Paul.
That's fine. Me too.
Hi, I'm Paul Vandertag from the Baldwin Golf Association. It's really just become, the good news is there's growth out there, and we're seeing a lot more feet on that ground, whether it's Baker cross country, the 4th of July event continues to grow, and that impacts us from a maintenance standpoint and a lot of things. And so we're really just looking for a little bit of, a little bit of time security on a lease so we don't have to worry about if we invest $15,000-$20,000 in something that it's, that there's a potential for it to, maybe change on us during the course. But yeah, Casey summarized a couple of the things. As we look at the grounds themselves, there's some water. There's a couple of water issues that we can get by, and we have gotten by for a long time. But there's a water issue on the west side of the clubhouse, and there's potential water issue on the west side of the current pond where there's been some erosion. So just some of those kinds of things that we're looking for a little bit of security on. So.
I mean, be honest, Paul. You just want to get the golf balls that are in the bottom of that pond.
Yeah. I don't think I'd venture into that pond. But anyway, we do. I'll take a moment to thank the city for the chip and seal on the driveway, on the parking lot there. That helped us in some maintenance costs where we were throwing gravel on there every year, spending $700,000 to $1,000 a year on gravel and rocking, and so appreciate that. And then we've got, like Casey said, we're trying to put in our tee boxes. Many of them are actually they just won't grow grass. The trees just suck the water right out of the ground, and so we've looked at a system to put in some concrete tee boxes, and we've got mats that'll cover that, turf mats that'll receive a tee, and we're really looking at wanting to do it right. And so anyway, again, I would emphasize the traffic that's out there, the continued growth of the 4th of July event, and the maintenance required with that, and accessibility, gates, fences, that kind of thing. So
Any questions for Paul?
take any questions.
All right, thank you, Paul. Anybody from the public like to speak to this agenda item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment, open up council discussion.
You want to articulate really the change in the lease term,
Yeah, so the lease term's extending to 20 years.
right?
And in a 5-year period that if the city were to want to do something different with the property, they would have to give a 5-year notice to the Golf Association. That was the changes.
Previously 1 year,
I think it was only
2 years.
I think it was 2 years.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So hard to make an investment if you could lose it next year.
Yeah. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the lease and operating agreement for the Bolden City Golf Course.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. Council committee reports, budget and finance, Scott.
We did meet on the 21st and just continued discussion around year-end financials. Just very high level, Baker Tilly reporting that general fund balance, we should end within our policy. Of course, that was just through October, so we got a couple more months. So what we've asked them to do and make sure they're on the agenda for next council meeting, come in and provide the public and the council the kind of the year in review and where we're at, where we expect to finish on all the funds. So they're going to come in and do that. Electric and water are looking, budget funds are looking good relative to last year. And we all kind of know what we had to do to make that happen. Wastewater is down. We're trying to, they're working with the utility to figure out what's going on there and why, why the reserve's where it's at. So that was the update on the utility stuff. We are planning to move forward with the bill reformatting like we did water 2 years ago. And what we plan to do is bring that to the council on what it would look like and kind of walk through it in the January meeting. As long as we get this approved, I think by the second meeting in January, then it will be effective for January 1 billing. So it's really just a format change where we're pulling the debt payment out that's buried in the rate right now as a meter fee. We're just pulling it out so you see what that is, and you'll just see what your rate, just your electric charge is. So shouldn't be a huge leap to figure that out because we've seen it on water already. But I think it'd be good to kind of walk through. I mean, so what you pay won't change, just how it looks on the bill will. And that's usually the hard part for everybody to get their mind around. And Jeff did bring up some outage reporting system that he's been made aware of, that he wants to look into, and how they do it. So he's exploring some of that, that would help with reporting the outages. And that was pretty much it. Did I leave anything else, guys? Okay. Next meeting,
After the next council meeting, won't it? You're canceling this next one?
yeah, it won't. So it will be on the, where are we at here? So I guess that would make that December 19th, 7:30 a.m. City Hall.
Community Development Corps.
We haven't met. Our next meeting is on the 22nd. I was going to kind of talk openly about that one. So I know around big holidays, we'll move those around a little bit. I know Brian, our citizen's not on here, and but is anybody gonna be out of town? Can we keep that 22nd, or do you guys want to move to the 15th?
I'm good with that.
Move it to the 15th, or keep it?
Either
on for-
way, yeah, I'll be in town. So.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be in town. Okay, we'll keep it the 22nd then. 4:00, second floor, City Hall.
All right. Public Safety, Susan.
We have not met, and we're scheduled to meet next on December 9th, but I'll be honest, that's my birthday, and I'm probably going to be rescheduling.
Nice.
So I'll be in touch.
Public Works and Utilities, Julie.
Yeah, we met on the 20th, and the new speed limit signs have been installed on Crimson Avenue between Highway 56 and Fire Tree Avenue. There's also no I can't even talk. No parking signs installed on the west side of the cul-de-sac on Silverleaf Lane. All the park restrooms are closed except for Sullivan Square. Jackson Pool is done for the winter on our pool, but they still have work to be completed, so they'll be back in the spring. Cleanup work continues at Blackjack Park, and I was told that we still need keys to the house that's there. So, need to work on that. The walking trail between Elm Street and the depot had some vandalism done with spray paint. They cleaned that up by power washing it, I guess. In conjunction with the project at the high school, a water line was going to be under the new street entrance. It was relocated to the Quail Street side of the property. The new substation, currently looking at chain link fencing with privacy slats because the precast concrete fencing far exceeded the estimated cost. The new option is about half of what was being budgeted for. The grounding grid, fencing, rock, and building interior work will be the next steps for the substation. There was also some copper theft at the site that was turned into the police station. The main meter relocation and corresponding scheduled outage has been pushed to the first quarter of next year because of interdata communication issues. We continue to have new rooftop solar applications. Many have already been installed and are operating. And to kind of piggyback on Scott, the city has been in talks with Outify recently. It's an AI-based outage tracking program with lots of different possibilities to do with that the citizens will get more notices of outages and other different things too. So they've just started talking with them about that. The next meeting is December 11th at 9 o'clock in the Public Works Building.
Strategic Planning, Scott.
Yeah, we did meet to discuss the review of the employee handbook. The mayor, Russ, and Emra, Julie and I were in the meeting, and really walking through, I mean, it's a large project. It's, you know, very comprehensive, and it's very outdated. So what we decided to do is have Russ and Amara pull together a committee with directors and some staff to walk through it and identify, you know, potential changes that they deem would be beneficial, and then bring that back to obviously the council for review, and then potentially, you know, adoption of those into the employee handbook. So, and we don't have another meeting scheduled, to be determined.
All right. Lake Advisory Committee, Jay?
Yes, we have not, we have not met since the last meeting. We have a meeting scheduled for December 16th at 6 o'clock in the executive room at the community center.
All right. Communications?
Communications Committee has met, and we discussed in great detail Outify, as Julie's already touched on, and the city is going to implement that text alert system. I think that's going to be a huge step forward in communication. It's obviously going to require a lot of ongoing efforts to collect citizen data, but it'll be worth it. I brought forward a communications matrix, which identified items that need to be communicated and the best methods to communicate those items. And based on all of our conversations, I also brought forward a communication strategy, and there were a few minor changes, but other than that, I think it's going to be presented at the next council meeting. No further need to meet.
I'd just like to thank you, Susan, for leading that committee and all the work you put into it. It was very comprehensive, and I think it's a great policy. Not only to start with, I'm not sure how much will change over time. So thank you for that effort.
Appreciate it.
Any staff comments? No. Any council comments?
I'll throw in a little comment about the Outify. I think every committee about brought it up. I think communication is a big part of it. I was pretty excited about that piece, but another big piece of it is that the faster you report them, the faster the lines get back on when we do have power outages. So it's kind of a double-edged thing there. Pretty exciting.
With that, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session on a matter pertaining to non-elected personnel in order to discuss non-elected personnel with the city attorney, League of Municipalities, the council, and myself until 8 o'clock, let's say.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion passes.
What do we got this time?
I'll open back regular session and entertain a motion to go back into executive session on a matter of non-elected personnel in order to discuss such non-elected personnel with the city attorney, the council, myself, and interim city administrator Russ Harding.
Make that motion.
Second.
Until probably 8:30.
Make that motion.
Been moved in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passes. 30 more.
I'm
Right.
leaving. I don't know about the rest.
When the cameras go off, everyone hand me your cookie bags from your pockets.
Open the meeting back up and entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, nay. Motion passes. We're adjourned.
You missed it.
Scott.